Some days back, a brother had come to the center and he had come for the first time. He had never been to any BK center or never heard Gyan. And then he asked me, I have one question. Is everything predestined or do we have free will? And that is the first question he asked. I just want to know if everything is fixed or we can change everything. So I told him, I don't want to give that answer to you today because I think that this is the fourth question we understand. So if you really want to understand something, you have to start from the first chapter. Because if you understand the fourth chapter first, it is not going to help you. It is going to create more confusion than clarity. So he said, what is the first chapter? So I said, the first chapter is knowing yourself and knowing your powers, your virtues. So then he came for the course. Now you see that in the Murli today, Baba says that everything in the drama is predestined. But it's very difficult to imbibe this piece of knowledge and actually feel the power that it holds if we are not in a good spiritual stage. And Baba says that whenever there is a scene in drama which is not very favorable or not very, sweet looking, in that scene, sometimes we have an effect. We feel, there is this thought. And Baba said, sometimes when I see children who are not doing any pursharth, I also have this thought that it was good if we could change something in the drama. But all this happens because, the way in which we have imbibed the knowledge of the soul and the knowledge of Baba is half-hearted. If we understand the other stuff properly, then it will be very easy to imbibe the knowledge of the drama and be happy with every scene of the drama. Now, what I mean by all of this is that you see that the soul is the creator of thoughts and feelings. And from thoughts and feelings to actions to destiny, everything is the creation of the soul. And our thoughts are not dependent on the situation or the quality of behavior that is in front of us. So basically, I'm a self-sovereign. I am the master of my mind, intellect, and also my sense organs. So even if my eyes are seeing a scene which is not very pleasant, I can still create a thought which makes me feel good. Yes, so I am the creator of my thoughts. I am not subservient to my eyes. I am the master of my eyes. My eyes see a scene, but how I want to think about it is completely my prerogative. But in the body conscious world, when the king has given away his power and the subjects are ruling, so Baba always gives the example of this king, who is the king, but he has given away his power to his subjects and his ministers. And those ministers are running the kingdom and not listening to the king. So similarly, Baba says, you are the king and you are these organs and sense organs. So the eyes, nose, ears, mouth, skin, or the mind, intellect, these are your ministers. But what had happened in the body conscious world is you started being dictated by them. So, so you are the creator of your thoughts, but instead, what started happening is whatever you hear started having an impact on the thought you create. Whatever you see started deciding the thought you create. Now, let me give you one very simple example. So, there is one sister, and she was taking these medications for anxiety. And then she came for the course. And when she came for the course, so she's a really good student and she understood very well and she was very keen and attentive. So when she took the course, so she understood that I am actually triggering the pituitary and hypothalamus. So I have the power to create thoughts of happiness, of calmness, of peace, of joy. And when I do that, then my brain and my hypothalamus and my pituitary will respond according to it. So then she asked me one simple question. She asked me, Didi, you see, I sometimes feel this agitation or this feeling of palpitation in my body. When I feel that, then I take a medicine and then it gets calmed down. So if instead of taking the medicine, I just sit and emerge the happiness in me or the calmness in me, will that help me calm down? So I said, yes, of course, because you see, the soul is basically creating the thoughts and feelings through the mind, which is getting communicated to the brain. And otherwise, the medicine is altering that same thing in the brain. So you could do it without the medicine also. And she agreed to it and accepted it. And then she started experimenting with it. And within 6 months, she was totally over any kind of medication and 100% she was in control of her brain and body. So you see that so we need to understand our powers first. So Baba says that when you are the one influencing the hormonal system, you are the one influencing every action of the brain, or how your brain is responding, or how every part of your body is working, and you are the soul. And the message you want to give to the brain and to the body should be your choice. It should not be dependent on any situation or any behavior. Now, in a body conscious world, what we start doing is we start attaching our thoughts and feelings with the situations and behaviors outside. And this is a sanskar we create. Now, suppose, take one example. Somebody behaved rudely with you. And then you start creating these thoughts. Am I not good enough? What reason did I give them so that they behaved rudely with me? Or what can I do differently so that they behave nicely with me? Or you create a thought, it is okay, they want to behave the way they want to, and it is okay, everybody is entitled to their opinion and behavior. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean anything. And if you just talk to yourself, so either ways, if you talk to yourself, the situation remains the same. So you are not, so the drama or the situation is pretty prefixed. So it is the same. But when you are a self-sovereign and you talk to yourself differently, you talk to yourself like a master, and you dictate how your mind thinks and you dictate how your brain responds, and you have a perfect aim that you want to create sanskars of peace and happiness. So when you move with that aim and you choose wisely according to their aim. So when we say a self-sovereign soul, so what does that mean? A soul which is a soul that has a dharana of an aim. So, you have a lakshya, and according to that lakshya, you are making choices. You are not making choices based on circumstances. You are making choices according to your aim. So, that is what we mean when we say a self sovereign entity, or a soul who is the master of the body and master of the life. So, Baba says that when you understand that I am a soul and I create my thoughts, feelings, I create my entire destiny, I create my sanskar, and I am the creator and I have an aim and objective. I want to create thoughts and feelings which are in alignment with my ambition to become Lakshmi Narayan. So, if you are very clear about that, then whatever the scene of the drama, you choose wisely. But if you don't have the understanding of, who you are, what are your powers, or that you are actually the master of your man, buddhi and your sense organs, or you don't have the understanding that Baba has come, this is the confluence age, and we have a definite aim towards which we have to work. When that understanding is lacking, then obviously you give in to every scene of the drama. Yes, and you start creating thoughts of, disappointment or betrayal or sorrow or a sense of loss in every scene of the drama, or you feel insulted or do whatever because you don't have any aim. So you are playing according to the scene of the drama. So Baba says, when your avastha is very good, when your spiritual stage is very good, when you have built the understanding and taken the power from Baba, because you see, one thing is understanding that I am a soul and I have powers and I am the master. Second thing is stabilizing yourself in that stage, and stabilizing yourself in that stage needs, yoga power, because you need to have a reference point, that is Baba, and you need to practice, stabilizing yourself in that closeness with that reference point called Baba. So you have to think about yourself as Baba's child. You have to think about yourself as the child who has similar powers and similar virtues like Baba. And when you start thinking about yourself like that, when you start practicing stabilizing yourself in these states, then you become a very powerful soul. And when your stage is good, when your avastha is good, then you can just look at scenes of drama like scenes of drama and not get attached to them or get affected by them. Now, Baba says that, basically, every scene in the drama is prefixed and it doesn't mean anything, right? So it is, when people are born, so when the soul is born in a body, the soul is born in the body. But in a body conscious world, we attach meaning to it, that this is a happy event. Yes, and then the scene of the drama is prefixed, and then there is a certain duration in which you are destined to be in that body, and then after that you leave that body and you take another body. But we are attaching various meanings to events depending on our state of body consciousness, and then the meaning you start attaching to the soul leaving the body is death. And then you say death is bad, death is loss, death is scary, there should be no death. And then so all of these things are happening because we are in a body conscious world. So Baba says that a scene in the drama is just a scene in the drama. When somebody leaves the body, what it means is they have left this body and they take another body. That's a simple meaning of somebody leaving the body. But when you start attaching, emotions of loss and emotions of, this is a bad thing that happened and it is unfortunate and it is like this and like that, then you start getting affected. So Baba says that every scene in the drama, if you are a self-sovereign, you look at every scene in the drama dispassionately like a detached observer. So you understand the scene, you respond to the scene, but you are not emotional in it. So that's how somebody who understands the predestined drama operates. So you're pretty dispassionate. That means you observe the scene, you respond appropriately also. It's not like, so you see, when somebody leaves the body, there is work to be done. So the body has to be disposed, the place has to be cleaned up, all those things have to be done, or the tasks that they were taking care of have to be handled. So everything needs to be done, and Baba says you do all of that, you respond to the scene, you understand the scene, but you are not emotional about it. You don't interpret it as good and bad. You just know that it is what it is. And I remember, there was this one Mata, and she said that my daughter-in-law, she behaves very rudely, and she's very uncultured, and she's she's she hasn't had a very good upbringing. And then she started talking about her parents and this and that. And then I told her, you see, I have not heard whatever you said. I have heard only one thing, that she speaks to you in a manner which is not in consonance with your sanskar. That's it. And all the interpretations that you're giving, that is, she's uncultured, this upbringing, this cognitive disorder, this, that, I am not listening to all of that. And the simple thing is, you have a sanskar and you like a certain kind of behavior, and she is not behaving that way. This is the simple crux of the matter. Now, even if you don't like that behavior, then you have to understand that she is your daughter-in-law and she is married to your son, and your son has your son has to make that decision whether to live with her or not live with her, and you don't have to make that decision. And if you don't like her behavior, if you don't like how she talks to you, you can maintain your distance, or you can, devise methods in which you start liking that behavior. And you start thinking, you have to train yourself to create thoughts that this is okay and this is the way she behaves and it is okay. And then she said, no, but why should I think it is okay when it is not okay? So I said, you want to spoil the last stage of your life? You want to keep creating ugly thoughts in your mind and keep spoiling your mood all the time, and you want to spoil your Antmate Sogati, go ahead. You're welcome to do that. But if you don't want to do that, if you have an aim for yourself, how you want to leave the body, then create an attitude which helps you accept the behavior that she is engaging in. And when you are in a place of acceptance, then maybe, if you talk to her or if you communicate with her lovingly, then she will also start responding. But it has to start from acceptance. You cannot reject and change. So she's a good, she's a good child of Baba. And then she started thinking on those lines. And now they have a good relationship. I mean, it's not great, but then still the mother-in-law and the daughter-in-law have a good relationship. And then now she uses this language, whenever the daughter-in-law would just abruptly say something or say something. So she would just say that she talks like this. This is her way of speaking. She wouldn't say she talks badly, rudely, this way, that way. She says this is the way she talks and it is okay, we have accepted it. So this is why, when you start interpreting the scenes of drama and you start getting emotional about them, that is when the problem arises. But when you understand that you are a self sovereign and you have an aim, and you have to create thoughts and feelings within yourself which are in consonance with your aim, which are not in consonance with the scene in the drama, then you will be able to choose to look at every scene in the drama dispassionately and respond appropriately, but not get shaken up or not get worked up because of any scene. And you see, today, Baba also talks about something very important and which I have experienced personally myself. So, Baba says that many people will come and tell you that, you are learning from God, and then how could God let this happen? And, if somebody dies early, then they will come and say that, even gurus or learned men in the world, they are able to save lives and bring people back. And what is God doing? He can't do such a small thing. And I remember, there is a yugal, a couple, husband wife, who are in Gyan for many years now. And the brother, he left the body suddenly, and they were in Gyan, and they were very good instruments of Baba, right hand of Baba. And when that brother left the body, then because they belonged to a affluent section of the society, so there were many, other people visiting. So people from other sects and other, paths, they also visited. And then they would keep telling that lady, that Mata who was in Gyan, go and ask your Brahma Kumaris why God chose to, why God chose to for you to have this fate, and why He took away the life of your husband so early. And then this Mata, although she was very strong, I felt sometimes she got a little shaken up. And then one day she told me, Didi, when people talk so much and everybody is saying, sometimes I also have this thought, why did Baba take him away? So I at that time I told her that, you see, Baba doesn't do anything, and we have learned this in Gyan, that Baba doesn't give birth, Baba doesn't take anybody away. Baba just tells us and teaches us and makes us capable of building sanskars with which we go to heaven. Baba has got nothing to do with the prefix scenes of the drama. And whatever is a scene in the drama is just a scene in the drama. And you are very well equipped to handle this. You have been in Gyan for the last 20 years. You know how to deal with this situation, don't you know? So she said, yes, I'm. And sometimes, Didi, when I am in a good state of mind, I thank Baba that Baba trained me so much, because you see, there are so many people who lose their husbands, but there's so many women who lose their husbands, but when they lose their husbands, they are in the dark. They don't know what to do. They don't know what to do next. They don't know where to go. But I'm not that person. I have been in Gyan for 20 years and I know exactly what to do. I know how to deal with the life that's coming. I have no expectations. So, people, so she shared with me that she had a friend, and that friend was not in Gyan, and that friend lost her husband. And then she said, when she lost her husband, at that time the family members also betrayed her. So, she had expectations from her mother-in-law, from her sister-in-law, and they also behaved differently. And then she was so traumatized. But I'm not in that state. I'm a very self-aware person, and I know that I don't have to have expectations from anybody, and I have this life where my constant companion Baba is there with me, and I have a great life. So she said that when my avastha is good, Didi, I really think about these things and I have gratitude for Baba also. But many times when people are talking so much, in those times I get shaken up. So Baba is, and when I read today's Murli, I was just thinking about that sister and that Mata, and I was thinking about, you see, Baba is exactly explaining her situation. And Baba says that even when, people talk all these things because they don't understand that Baba doesn't do anything, it is all prefixed in the drama. You don't have to listen to this stuff, and you have to know that drama is predestined and Baba doesn't do anything in the drama. Now you see, why do we say drama is predestined? Because you see that every second in the drama, it looks like this moment in the drama, but every second is connected with the whole past 5,000 years. So you see that it is not possible to separate 1 second in the drama from the whole backward link of 5,000 years. So Baba says that whatever happens today, so suppose today I belong to Baba, today I have Gyan, today I understand what I understand, but yesterday I didn't understand, and I have been doing pap karma for 63 births. And you see, because of all those 63 births of body conscious living, the whatever is going to happen in the moment is pretty prefixed. Because all that, so do you know that let's say you have cooked the whole meal, and then you taste the salt and you see that the salt is more than necessary. Can you take out the salt from it? No, because the damage is already done. So here also you see, if you look at the drama, every second of the drama, the karma that we do in every second has a bearing on what is happening in this moment. And you cannot change this 1 second, this present moment, without disturbing the whole past, and the past cannot be changed. So this moment is pretty prefixed. Now what Baba is telling us is, whatever is happening now, I can't change it, but I am giving you the power to choose what you want in the future. And if you want to be in a place in future where you don't have any worries, there is no untimely death, there is no disease, then make that choice now, because now the drama for the future is being created. Right. So whatever you are facing right now is a product of the past. So that past has to manifest. But now whatever you are doing will have a bearing on what you get in the future. And just think about, when you understand so much about how to create the best future for yourself, how many choices are you taking in accordance with Srimad? Are you making 100% choices according to Srimad? Are you every day getting up at Amrit Vela? Are you, never crossing the line of Maryada? Are you never wasting any time, not keeping bad company? Are you doing whatever Baba is saying? And you see, at the time of creating the future, we are being very lazy. But when it comes to calling out to Baba to change the scene, we are very active. So Baba says, this is the time to create your future. And if you are not creating 100% right now, then you understand that the scenes in the drama that you are encountering are okay and justified because this is how you created it last kalpa, didn't you? So, that Mata, she told me one thing very interesting. She said, Didi, had I belonged to Baba completely in the last cycle, and if I belong to Baba completely in the present cycle, then I have a right to tell Baba that this is not what I deserved. But when I look at my own Purusharth in a objective way, I know that I have not done my best this Kalpa. So I understand that this is what I had done last time also. So obviously, when I cannot be perfect in Sangam Yuga, how can all the 4 yugas be perfect for me? So this is the thing, you see, that this is the time to create the future. And when you see the present time, you know why our present, which was created in the past, is what it is. And when you look at this thing, you should have the encouragement and the inspiration to completely belong to Baba and follow Srimat 100% at this time, so that we understand that in the future things will be different. But Baba says drama is predestined, and everybody does the same thing every cycle and gets the same thing every cycle. So this is the thing. When you look at it objectively, you understand that we are served what we deserve, and we are being served what we have sown in the past. So Baba says that when you understand the drama, you don't interpret any scene as good or bad, and especially in Sangam Yuga, when you're self-sovereign, you know that you have an aim, and you don't get caught up in creating thoughts of sorrow and thoughts of disappointment in any scene. And Baba says don't listen to others also, because they will keep feeding these things into you. And then Baba today talks about not listening to anything other than Baba. Do you follow this Srimat? Or do you listen to many opinions and many thought, many, schools of thought? Because all those schools of thought, all those opinions are only making you miserable. They are doing a kalyan for you. And you see that whatever you listen to in the world, just experiment one day. Whatever you are listening to in the world, apart from what Baba is telling you, what is it triggering inside you? So, all the creations that the human mind is creating are triggering lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed, fear, or insecurity, or laziness, or other stuff in you. And Baba says, if you want to make your stage very good, then you should stop listening to all this stuff. And Baba also says that, even vibrations have effect. Have you felt that you go to the market and you didn't buy anything, you didn't do anything, you just visited the market, came back, and now you want to sleep, you're all drained. So just think about what the company of the old world does to you. So Baba says, be very careful about protecting yourself from the sounds and speeches and sights and vibrations of the old world, and be in your canopy. And I will tell you one thing, that this is not about physical isolation, but this is about being in the remembrance of Baba always. So it's not that you never go to the market. You go to the market when necessary, but take Baba with you and keep your man and buddhi absorbed in Baba, so that it doesn't get absorbed in the market. So when your man buddhi is absorbed in Baba, then you can go and come out without getting tainted by the vibrations of the atmosphere. So Baba says, keep that distance when it comes to physical things, and when it comes about making choices about what you want to hear and see, make wise choices. Do not listen to stuff which is not coming from the ocean of knowledge, because everything that you hear has an effect on the mind, and everything that you hear in the old world is just going to, deplete your energy, spiritual energy, and decrease your vibration. Okay, Om Shanti.